In today's Sunday solution, we're going to try and fix a common problem with a stuck check valve on the city water connection.
It's time
For another Sunday solution.
Let's go.
All right, so what we have here is, this is our city water connection right here. And if I put the valve to city water, you'll notice the water's running out of it. And then if the water pump's on, it causes your pump to run cycle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if we can fix that. And I haven't had this apart yet, so I don't know. I've never taken it apart, but what I understand, the screen pops out here, and then there's a check valve behind there that you can get seated. So we're going to try that and see how it works out. So let me see if I can get you guys set up here. Decent spot. It's pretty good. So take my little screwdriver and pop that screen out. There we go. All right. So there's the screen, taking it out. And it's just a rubber thing. Mine's a little stiff because it's obviously a few years old. And then inside here, you have this little rubber thing here, which spring feels really weak. That's the check valve. So we're going to see. I don't know if we can get it to work or not. Sometimes these get a little dirt in them, and that causes them to hang up. So let's see if that did anything. Well, looks like it's on. The water pump's on. A lot of times you can just hook a hose to it, and it'll, you put your city water on and you flush it real quick, and a lot of times it'll reset it. But let me see, I'll try this again. She's still not seated there. It's better, but it's not perfect. So let me try moving it again. She goes. I think that might have got her. Tell you in a minute, an easy way to tell is if the water pump kicks back on. And it's got a little bit, it's coming out still. Definitely a lot better than it was. Keep working it a little bit. See if I can flush out whatever's in there. Looks like it might have it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Most times this will cure your problem. If not, like I said, I'm going to have to put a new check valve in it. I feel like the check valves are all keyed up. In my case, it isn't that bad of a leak. And you can see I'm still on city water now. Water pump's on. And it's not, what's coming out of in between the fittings there is what's laying in there. I don't see any coming down through. It might have a small leak, but I've seen other ones where they're really just pouring out of there. And like I say, you can go in there, pop this screen out, and work that little white piece, the actual check valve, in and out. Or the simple thing is, if you're not on city water, just switch it to tank fill. And once you switch that to tank fill, that stops the leak temporarily until you can get a new check valve. Now, normally, what I've read and been told, that'll pretty much stop the entire leak. I still got a little drip apparently, unless that's from moving that maybe. But it's cut it way down to where it was. So there you go. That's your trick. And it's, you know, I've got just a tiny drip now, whereas before I had a pretty good stream running out. So what I will do is I will order one in the future, and in the meantime I'll just turn it to tank fill, and that stops all that problem. So there you have it. You can just do that, or you can put a new check valve in. I probably will put a new check valve in, just because this one still has a tiny drip. So we got the new part in today, and we're going to attempt to put it in. And while I'm at it, if it works out, I'm going to do both of these. I ordered 2 of them off Amazon. And originally I was going to try to move, I took this clamp off and I figured I could get my arm up in here to loosen the water line. But I can't. But then I discovered if I go from underneath the bottom, I can get at it. Let's see what we got. Well, they look to be the same. The problem we run into here is Tiffin, in their infinite wisdom, didn't make the hole big enough to fit the hose through. So you have to go behind it, and I don't know if I can show you, if I can get it back up there. See those tabs that you tighten with? You can't get them through the hole. If they would have made this hole a little bit bigger, it would have been a lot easier. A big tree just went down over there. It's crazy. Oh, as with all things motorhome related, there's no thought that goes into repairing stuff. So we're going to try this one. It appears that everything's the same, thread-wise and all that. And they're actually made by the same company, B&B. So we're going to give it a shot. The top one is obviously the harder of the two. And if I can get that one in with no leaks, we'll go from there. I may put some Teflon tape around this before I stick it in there. That's the weird thing with these, is that knob actually gets in the way of these screws. So you get them down a certain depth. We got to turn the knob a little bit. You can see what I'm talking about. See how the screws and knob gets in the way? So if you bring it down below there, then you can work it. See if I can get under there and get the water line back on it. Should be the tricky part. Doing everything by feel. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's put that one on. Let's hook that one up before I tackle this other one. And see if I have any leaks. Okay. I always use these 45 brass connectors. I like them. I think they're just better. Well, we'll try this one. And if this one works out, then I'll do the civil. The black flush. And if that works without leaking, that's the object. Is I've had this panel out before, and it is not an easy job. It takes a couple hours to do it everything. And even when you get it out, you don't have a lot of room. It only pulls out a little bit, and then it catches on something else. So hopefully, let's turn it on and see if there's any leaks. I got it on tank fill first because there's no restriction, so it just fills right up and won't cause any water hammers or anything like that. All right, so let's try this. We're on city water. It feels pretty good. I don't see any drips yet. Let me leave her on for a little bit. And then we can test it. All right, so I don't see any leaks. So we're gonna go back to tank fill. Gonna shut her down. And again, by switching to tank fill, it takes the pressure off the hose so you can take it off easily. Let's see if this new check valve solves that issue that we have with water leaking out here. All right, so that's water that's in the hose. We're good there. We're on the pump. Turn the pump on. And we're good to go. There's no water dripping out, the pump's on. We're on tank fill. So the new check valve is going to be a hit. Okay. Turn the pump off. We're good to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this one. Just because I did this one, I'm going to do this one, and this should be easier as long as everything's the same. And I have the other valve, which is called a Rec Pro RV Camper Motorhome Elbow. And I'll put a link in the description for it. But let me get this one off and we'll see where we're at for the black flush. I'm gonna unhook it first. Makes it easier. Get it while it's solid. And this one's real easy to get at. It's right at the bottom. I had problems with this one leaking too a while back. And what I did, I'll show you. I put one of these little vacuum breaker attachments on it right here. And that's good. I mean, if you want to do the easy way, you can stick one of these on there and call it a day, but I didn't want to do it that way. I used this one for a while, and it's been fine, but time to change them, I think. And that's a little bit different. That's the same. Should be the same everything. Except this has a check valve in it already. The distance is the same. And the thread pitch is the same. So we're going to try this one. And this one does not have a check valve in it. As you can see, that one's straight in without the little vacuum breaker that I added. So, and it's plastic. So we're going to try the other one. And I don't know if they put that in to get more flow through there to flush or what, but I don't see it being an issue. I'd rather not have water dripping around in my wet bay. We're gonna try it. Okay, I was able to get it started. Big thing with that, if you don't want to cross thread it, if you do, you'll have a problem. So I'm gonna put a little elbow on it, and then we'll give her a try with some water pressure. Make sure she don't leak. All right, I don't want to leave her on too long because we don't have pump out. We have pump out service right where we're at in Tennessee here right now. So I don't have the ability to dump my tank, but she worked. And she should be good now. Back up on top so we can get back on the water. Okay. Turn her back on. She's good. She's good and dry. There you have it. 2 brand new fittings. Easily installed from the bottom. Solves that whole issue with the check valve. And then I'm thinking maybe pop this old one apart, but this thing was just wore out. I mean, it's old. It's 7 years old probably. So off to the dump with that. Pretty simple repair. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like and subscribe, and maybe hit a super thanks if you feel so inclined. And we'll see you in the next one.